What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Next Rank YouTube channel. It's Johnny and Jack, and today we're going to be reviewing a random replay that we found in ball chasing. And the only criteria that we went for here is Champ 1. We wanted to review a Champ 1 replay because we know a lot of the Next Rank members are in the Champ ranks, and probably a lot of you guys watching are in the Champ ranks. And we wanted to look for the highest scoring close game. So maybe that's a bit of a spoiler, but we have picked out a close game. Other than that, we don't know anything about this replay. We thought it would be fun to just grab a random replay, and the reason is, just before we click play, when we were making the course, so many times we'd need an example of something, so we'd look up the rank where we think we'd find this thing, and we would just be like, I don't know, having the best time ever watching random replays. Yeah, we just go down rabbit holes watching random replays and thinking this is actually content. So we need to do this, and I'm not going to delay anymore. Let's just hit play and see what happens. And we're going to try and give some tips. We're going to be reacting to this gameplay. This Champ 1, do we know what server this is on? Does it say?
No, but it looks like EU.
What gives it away? What's an EU thing here?
Hang on, my game's just froze. Okay, there we go. I would say that the names are very EU-esque.
Oh, and we've got a MENA player, El Madi.
El Madi, yeah, with 80 ping. That's
80
definitely
ping,
a MENA player, right? Like that style of... Yeah, okay, so... Let's get into this. There's definitely EU here. Close.
Oh.
Some of these...
Oh,
ooh,
they're...
oh.
They've both tried that. They've both failed it. I love it.
Yeah,
the aggression is coming out early, but they can't score in the counter.
Straight away, we're on a Dominus POV. What are your... Nice reads.
Oh,
look at this really quick. I'm not going to pause. I'm not going to pause too much. We'll pause on certain elements, but I like this straight away. Just ball's coming to the backboard. We're not going to jump instantly. He gives himself a bit of space. This is the most important thing for you guys to look out for in this position. He backs up to give himself space to go forward into the read. That's going to make it a lot easier. And of course, he still has to get a really, really nice read on top of that. It does go in the end. Okay, hang on. Just jump for the ball. Okay, that's unlucky. It's unlucky. At some point, we have to just jump, right? That's the issue there. But it's still a good play by the opponents. There's not much we can do, really. An attempted speed flip. I liked that a lot.
I think it was a bit of a messy landing, but
yeah, it was still good though. He leaves the boost for his teammate, which is important.
He did leave the boost. Oh, they're tilted. Oh, keep moving,
back.
bro.
It's fine. Get back. There's more games to play over. Come on. All right. We were on zero boost, so he's give the ball away a little bit, which is turf. That's going to be open. Yeah. Okay. What would you say, Johnny, in positions like this? We're on zero boost.
Yeah,
what's
don't
aim?
hit it. Yeah, just don't hit the ball, honestly. Like, just do absolutely nothing, because we're on zero. F 50-50 is gold here. If we can like fake this a couple times, pretend to make a well hit, and then come down, get behind the ball, roll it into that guy with 100 boosts and just 50 him. Like, if you're on zero boost and you're 50-50ing with a guy who's got 100 boosts, that's a great trade. Because you've kept him in a neutral position, and you're already in a pretty weak position on zero boost. And if you can get it to 50 to the right, your teammate has a very good chance of getting the ball for free. So this is a very, very common misplay, soft clearing from the back corner for no reason. Like, we don't have to do anything. There's no threat here. Literally nothing. And we created the threat by soft clearing.
Definitely. The only time that I would say we should hit the ball in this position, we're on zero boost, is if we've got simply an opponent that is just about to jump for the ball, right?
Yeah.
And maybe if we've got a teammate, even then, by the way, if our teammate is over here, we probably don't even want to do that still, because if there's, let's say, there's a guy going for the ball here, and there's his teammate backing him up. This, of course, is a completely different scenario than the one we've got. But let's say this is what happened. Guy jumping, teammates backing him up. Our teammate's in the corner. You still want to try and take a 50, because if you just hit it to this guy, he can maybe just take a free shot. The only time where, this would be acceptable is if our teammate was really close and there was a guy jumping. Because they're both backwards and going back to their side of the pitch, we can actually just leave this ball for our teammate. And if we can't do that, if we're worried that he's not going to read that, or if we're worried that the opponents are going to turn or get there sooner than we thought, we just stay behind the ball and, like Johnny said, take a 50. If you're on zero boost, your opponent's on 100 boost, and you're going for a 50, that's a really, really good trade. The issue with this play is that simply there is no real scoring angle right now, or there's very few scoring angles, really only from here, this angle. But now, this is where the angles open up. An opponent can score this from this angle, going around the ball. They can score it from this angle, which is what happens, or this one more specifically. There's just too many angles at net, and it makes the shot way too easy. And a little bit of a fault of our teammate here.
Yeah, can we see his POV? The 7VN POV, so this is what they see. I mean, they're thinking, okay, maybe I can get this. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of baited here. This happens a lot.
It's tough.
You center the ball badly, and your teammate thinks, oh, I guess I'm supposed to go for that, and then they've missed it because they have no way of getting there. They're just in no man's land, so that can happen. But I love how we're just like along for the ride in the blue team POV here. Without any... We're just talking about everything from their POV. But
I guess it's because there's a Dominus.
The Dominus stood out. Yeah, I didn't tell Jack to do this, I promise. I didn't say, let's go Dominus so we can criticize him. Whoa. This is actually sick.
Yeah, I like this.
Imagine if it works.
This is a good thumbnail. I like these guys. They're thinking really about the content. Look at this. Just beautiful. Just who's going to hit the ball? I have no idea. I don't even know who's going to hit the ball. I mean, the issue with this, I mean, there's two players going.
I mean, it's a dumb play. Let's just say that. It's a very dumb play, but I like it. It's a good level of dumb.
This should be a goal.
Hey,
there we go.
They get a goal in their net, as you usually do when you pre-jump and don't really have a plan on how to make it work. But hey, that's a fun...
They're not even a team, by the way. They're not even partied up.
They're not even partied up. As long as they're okay with it, as long as like after in the chat they're like, close one, no problem or whatever, then all good, you know? Like, good vibes. But there could also just be salt, so you never know.
Oh. I like this, Johnny. I like this. Just
drive challenge
just
in the back corner.
The player. Drive challenge. Okay, why is my game keep doing this? I apologize. It's the new update. The new update has happened as of yesterday at the time of recording this, so maybe there's some bugs in the game. But yeah, just drive challenge. The ball's moving slowly. Nice pop up to the center of the pitch. Perfect shot. Look at this guy,
Beautiful.
bro. What a play. Good pass from teammate.
Very nice
touch to the center of the pitch towards goal. That's the most important thing for you guys to work on your first touch. You guys are like, some people ask me how to work on first touch. Of course, there's too many elements to speak about. The only kind of tip that you can really give that applies to every single not every single first touch, but most first touches when you have space, is get it towards net. That's going to give you the best kind of angle, the easiest, or just simply the easiest kind of path.
For aerial plays.
Yeah, for aerial plays. Aerial plays, yeah. Just go straight into the air, towards net. That's going to give you an easy path towards a goal. Of course, on the ground, you want to create an angle and all that, because it's easier to flick with an angle and stuff like that. But yeah, bit of a crazy challenger. What's going on there? Whoa!
Yeah, this is ambitious. This is a very ambitious player here. He's trying to read everything, and it's cost him 2 goals. I mean, obviously the whole team's getting outplayed here, but yeah, extremely ambitious. Like, what are we thinking? What do we think is going to happen here? Do we really think the opponents are going to miss that easy clear in the backboard? I don't think so. So I think that's another
the only 2 goals
play
for Blue have really come from just
crazy
overcommits.
pre-jumps.
Yeah, just pre-jumping overcommits. I'm actually going to pay attention. Nice demo. I'm actually going to pay attention, and it leads to a goal real quick before I say what I'm about to say. This is a tough position for this player here to deal with. He obviously wants to get a bit more of an angle on this touch towards the corner. Of course, when we're getting touches in defense that are kind of floating balls like that, you want to put them to the sides of the pitch rather than in front of the goal. That's very simple, but a lot of players do tend to forget that in the heat of the moment. Yeah, I want to pay attention to this player and see if he fast aerials at any point. With Champ, fast aerialing is going to be very, very important to learn if you haven't already. And so far, he hasn't yet.
Can we also rewind a bit and see that challenge in the back corner? Because this is an interesting one. This one here. This happens a lot. So he can, now with the new boost update, we know our teammate has 0 boost and he's just left the play. So think earlier we had a drive challenge in a similar position that we complemented. And this is especially important when your teammate is leaving the play with 0. They can't really follow up on this challenge you're about to make super fast, because we just saw them leave the play with 0. Then maybe they're going to turn in small pads, but most players will not do that.
Still tough.
So we have to assume that they're going to leave, or they can leave. But if the other thing that can happen here is if we just go in here and flip hard into the ball, we're creating a lot of volatility. That ball can go almost anywhere. It can bounce off this corner wall, back wall, side wall, ceiling. It can go absolutely flying. And if your teammate is still looking for boost, they're not going to have a good chance of beating full boosted opponents to the ball. So drive challenge would have been very nice here. We've got supersonic speed already. The opponents are kind of stuck in the mud. We might even be able to demo both of them. And just
it's possible here. It is possible.
So this is why we keep saying drive challenge in the back corner. But really, more than anything, make sure you keep your momentum when you challenge in the back corner. We lost all our momentum there, had to waste a ton of boosts just to get back up to speed because we're not thinking about how our car is going to land. Like the flip we've chosen here isn't going to land very well. It makes more sense to jump through the challenge and land with your wheels, or drive challenge so your wheels don't leave the ground. You've got to think about getting out of the corner fast whenever you commit this hard to the corner.
No, definitely. I will say that this is probably the best outcome we could have hoped for here.
Yeah, it's pretty lucky.
Luckily, and that it is lucky, not for the reason of like, oh, we're just trying to like, you know, this player is making bad plays, we're just, you know, hating on him. It is just simply lucky because our opponent just kind of allowed it to happen. If he just did a little bit more, if he just covered a bit more of the side of the ball and forced it to the right, he would have had him beat. He would have been able to go again, and it would have been an attack down the right side of the pitch with our teammate in this position trying to get back. Where is he? And it's really might be open. So this is a little fortunate that this actually went to our teammate with enough power that he could get a touch before the opponents could, because it could have been bad there.
Every player's got strengths and weaknesses. We're not trying to say that this player's the worst player in the lobby. They're all the same rank, so just make it clear that this happens a lot where people think that, oh, I've got the worst player in my team, the teammate. My teammate's the one making all the mistakes.
He's not having a great game, Johnny.
He's not having a good game. This is good timing, though, because players have bad games, players have warm-up games, or, you know, players sometimes just have bad 2 minutes and 43 seconds, and then the last 2 minutes and 13 seconds, they're great. So, yeah. There
bang, look at that. Just like that. There we go.
I promise we've not watched this replay. But
we haven't.
You don't want to, like... You don't want to judge too early, because realistically, you know, our teammate, you're making a lot of mistakes, but there's still time, and they're in this rank for a reason. Every player in this lobby is the same rank, so there's going to be something they're good at, something they're bad at. I mean, this is Champ 1, so nobody's going to be amazing at anything. Nobody's going to be completely awful at anything. We're just going to be a group of players who are all kind of good percentage-wise compared to the wider population, but terrible compared to the best players in the world. That's fine. So we got to find out the strengths, the weaknesses. One thing we can tell about this player is he's going to go. So if I'm this guy's teammate, I know he's going to go. I'm just going to try and stay ready at all times to follow up, because there's no fake challenges. There's tons of pre-jumps. He's full sending it a lot. So that's fine. We can read that. We can play with that. Don't just get tilted. Your teammates making mistakes. Try and figure out what is their style of play so you can read them.
Absolutely. The number one thing this player has to work on is fast aerials. Simple as that. He doesn't fast aerial. He can't, or he doesn't know how to, at least in game right now. He hasn't shown it once, and he's gone for like 4 or 5. So fast aerials would improve his game just like massively. So on the off chance that this guy's watching the video, learn how to fast aerial, and you'll become way better. But let's have a look at the rest of the players in the lobby. It's 4-4, Johnny.
It's 4-4.
2 minutes left to go still. A nice demo, I think, coming out of our teammate here. He just got the boost there, but
he wanted everything. He wanted the boost on the ball, got neither.
Look at this guy, bro.
We spent the first. Did he slow aerial to that?
Completely right.
Let's see the POV.
Let's have a look. The good thing about this is that it's so awkward for the opponent. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's just class.
But that's just such a good first hit here that it doesn't matter if we don't fast aerial to this ball, because our opponent is so awkward in the goal. Look at this.
Yeah,
Look how
this is
awkward
a tough
this
read.
is. That's hard. It's hard. What do you recommend that this player does, Johnny? We've actually got I'm gonna put you on the spot here.
Yeah.
We've got a video on the exact mistake that he did in the course right now. What was it? Or what do you think I'm going to say? There's obviously going to be a couple mistakes.
What do I think Jack's going to say? Well, I mean, I know what I would say. There's actually there are so many different options here, but based on where we're at, if we just pause where he is, right there, this is like a really. I'll hone in on this, because right there, that's a very common thing. What we've just seen. Obviously, if you're on the backboard here, easy peasy. But let's pretend that it's not possible to get to the backboard, and that this is roughly where we have to be. Just by simply being on the goal line, it makes it significantly harder to read this bounce. And if he's just a little bit further back in the net, or just further away from where the ball's going to bounce, you'd never want to be directly under where the ball's bouncing. This makes the read 10 times harder. It also makes it harder for you to see when, or even if, the opponent is jumping. Sometimes players will just hit the ball to the backboard like this, and they won't even jump. They're just going to sit on the ground waiting for you to miss the ball because you've tried to read it super early. Then they have an easy finish because you've just missed. So If he just backs up in the net a little bit, or if he rotated a bit deeper into the net, I should say, he'd have a way easier time reading this. It'd still be a difficult read, and I think it would be smart for Black Timel to read the miss and play the miss. We just uploaded a video about that recently.
Yeah.
So this is a play the miss situation regardless. There's definitely a lot of play the miss stocks here. Plus EV for playing the miss, no matter what the defender does. But the defender, made it hard for himself here, Jack, I think.
I like that. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. We completely agree on that. Yeah, it's a really tough ball. Like Johnny said, players could just wait on the ground and not jump and just wait for you to miss, or just jump and play your miss entirely, which is what this guy does. Or he just tries to beat him, which he also does. So that's completely fine. But yeah, those positions where they're just going to wait on the ground, your opponent, are particularly when balls are just straight above your head, Johnny. So in this position, because your ball cam is going to go, up like that. It's going to focus on the ball, so you're on the ground, and the ball cam's going to go up like that. And then you can't see your opponent. So you think they're going to jump, you jump early. Because you jump early, you misread it, and all sorts of stuff happens. This ball would be much easier dealt with, and that ball a bit straight above the head, if, like Johnny said, and he's completely right, if we just rotated a little deeper, a little wider, and then we're in this position here. So just a couple car lengths behind really does make all the difference, because it allows us to have momentum going forward. And it doesn't make the angle that we have to turn into the ball as sharp. We can be it's a little more forgiving on us. It gives us a bit more space. And it also allows us to have a higher chance of actually blocking the ball, even if we don't get there first, blocking the ball with a save. So similar to what we did earlier, Johnny, I think, was it the Dominus player that did that, where he backed up inside the net?
He did, yeah.
Or maybe it was this guy, I'm not sure. But yeah, simple as that. You do the exact same thing here. If you kind of cut your angle off and rotate it a little too sharply here. If you did that, you want to just back up a little bit if you're struggling with this read and then go. But ideally, we're not in this position at all, and we've rotated a little bit deeper around the net, and we're further inside our net before we go for this ball. But it's a really tough ball to deal with. It's honestly just full credit to Black here on the other team, because
what a turnaround.
What a turnaround. He's instantly 2 goals, 1 dunk, 1 really good read and good play, and we're winning this game with a hat trick now. So, and now we're not fast down into the ball again. So it really goes, swings and roundabouts.
It's about figuring out what the strengths and weaknesses of the teammate are. As this player here is a bit more of a calculated player. Seems to be quite efficient in the air. That has been a pattern for this player. And this is another situation where Black Temple should. Okay, that's a safe challenge. I was going to say he needs to think very carefully about challenging with a risky position, but he did think about it. He waited for a clear opportunity to play the ball before he didn't just full dive speculatively. And you want to do that in twos whenever your teammate's leaving the play.
And here again,
make a challenge, find an angle to challenge safely, and only go if you know you're definitely getting it, or very nearly definitely getting it.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, just as Johnny said that, he faked a challenge as his teammate was stuck in their half. Teammate stuck in the half, ball's kind of going to a safe spot anyway. Guys, the safe spots in on the pitch, if we're the orange team, is this position. All right, anywhere from here and here, really, just our corner. That's the safe position, and of course on the other side. So if the ball is already going there, for example, the ball is going in that direction, and our opponents are also going in that direction. If the opponent was coming from this angle, but the ball is going this angle, of course, they have an angle towards our net over here. Okay, so that's not safe. But if our opponents are coming from their goal angle here, and the ball is also traveling to our corner, that is safe. We don't need to challenge this ball, because it's already going into a safe position here that we're going to collect. Okay, we don't have to go. Simple, we don't have to go. We can collect the ball with 100 boost. That's much better. And also, our teammate is still getting out of defense, out of offense into the defense. So we buy time with a fake challenge. Perfect. We collect a free ball, and life's great. The issue then for the other team is that we have a free ball now after a good bump from a challenge, from our teammate here. Good bump in the corner here. We have a free ball, but we rush it a little bit. So that just gives the opponent a simple hard gun. I think that might just be a goal, Johnny. So a little bit of a sad goal for the 6th one here. Unfortunately, but there's still time. Of course, everyone watching this doesn't need that explained to them. The Dominus player just rushed his play. He was, I will say, I mean, that's what happened. I will say the reasoning that he might have done this, and one thing that you guys can really just fix like that, is try not to be as tunnel visioned with your eyesight onto the ball when you're playing the game. Okay, so when you're playing the game, I sometimes have to remind myself of this. Honestly, my RCS team, we speak about this a lot. Don't be tunnel visioned on the ball. You want to always be looking with your eyes. You want to be always looking at everything else that's happening. Okay, so you're not just staring at the ball. If you're playing with an eye tracker, your eye tracker isn't just showing a circle around the ball the entire time. Okay, so that's the issue with this player right now, because he's clearly thinking that there's a chance. He probably just didn't see the bump, in all honesty. And some of you guys be like, no way, he definitely saw the bump.
I think he's trying to play it to himself. This actually always takes longer than you think. Like I think
he thought someone was going. I genuinely think he thought someone would be going for this ball.
I think he also could just be trying to play it like to himself, a little 1-2 with the wall. But whenever you're doing this, whenever you're like chipping the ball into the wall and having to turn or land and then go back to it, it always takes longer than you think. And players make this mistake all the time where they go for the boost in the back corner, chip the ball into the corner wall, and then turn and go for it, and they get beaten.
Okay, if he was doing that, the only reason you would do that if there was someone challenging, and then you get around the first guy, and then you recover and get around the second guy. So maybe you're right. Nice touch though. Pass.
Okay, chance. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Perfect. It's just in. All right.
Yeah.
Wait, we've turned off the overlay. We've turned off the overlay, Jack.
Oh God, sorry. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Okay, 6-4. Any touch to the right here is awesome for us. Yeah, this is great. Of course, it's this guy again. This guy does not care, bro. 6-4, 40 seconds left, 6-4. Who cares? Just double jump into the corner. Maybe we can get a dunk for our 7th goal. Who knows? We just, I don't mind it. Obviously we don't go there. I mean, simple as that. We have 2 goal leads. It doesn't really matter. But really nice capitalization from blue team there on that mistake. I like that. Oh, drive challenge. Oh, our teammate got bumped. Pass it back. Nice.
Yes.
First touch.
Bang!
Oh, wait, we don't need a goal. It's fine.
Yeah, they're winning. It's fine.
Whoa!
Oh, sends it, of course. He's aggressive. I like it. He's just going to stick to his guns. This is a bit risky. Okay, nice. He sorted it out, though. No nonsense. This is the kind of player you want in 0-second situations. Just somebody who's going to go. They're not going to be scared. And they're going to confirm the win here, surely. Yeah, there it is. Doesn't matter if you can put it in. So there's the game.
I don't mind it.
Pretty good gameplay. This is Champ 1, EU Champ 1. Pretty good stuff. I mean, there's clear things that all the players can work on. You mentioned fast aerials, and a lot of the challenges are super.
I think a lot of the challenges was the main thing. I think for
they're crazy.
Everyone in this replay, the challenges in the corners were. Honestly, they weren't great. That's the issue. That
there was one drive challenge though. There
was, and that was really that was really smart. But honestly, the rest of them, they every single player in this replay would get instantly better, which is a great thing. If there's just a very clear, easy thing to work on that will improve your game like that, it usually means you're pretty decent at everything else. So if all these players just worked on the kind of thought process of challenging in the corner when they should, not just when they should. Why should they? Why shouldn't they? How should they? Because, how as in, do they drive challenge? Do they full challenge? Do they single jump and then recover instead of flipping in the corner like we saw earlier, as Johnny was talking about? All those things, they're very, very important for all these players to work on because, it would have avoided about maybe 8 of the 11 goals that we've seen in this game. So that's where the main mistakes came from, I would say, Johnny.
Yeah, I think so. And, trying to be good teammates with their challenges as well, not just challenging as solos, but challenging as a team. We talk about that a lot in the next rank. So if you guys want to know more about challenges, that's
2 drive challenges.
I like that a lot. Yeah, this is solid.
I love it.
Just fast recoveries off the back of those. It doesn't even matter if we miss them. We're going to be up, right up behind that guy.
Look at this guy. Look at the impact, right? This, by the way, actually, let's hang on real quick. He has, after this clear, he has 585 points. Okay, he has 585 points on the scoreboard. He gets a demo into a back pass
Yeah,
and he gets
solid.
rewarded with 2 points for all that. He's on 587 now. So really, just the non-score impact here. And he plays, look at this, dude. This is a good last couple of seconds from this guy. He avoids the corner boost because he knows the mid boost is up, and that puts him in a position closer to his teammate to follow up on the next challenge. And that's the little things that really is really smart. Okay, well then... Then another drive challenge would have been good here, but we then double jump over the ball. So yeah, a drive challenge in those positions, awesome. If you can do that in the corner every time, it would have been a near perfect 30 seconds from this guy on challenges there. That would have been really cool to see. But yeah, that's the replay, John. I like
that's
that.
it. Hey, I enjoyed that. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If there's other ranks you want us to pick a random replay from, other game modes you want us to pick a random replay from, and just analyze
so much.
Yeah, we had so much fun genuinely watching a ton of replays, hunting for video examples for the next rank course. So whenever you see any, if you bought the next rank and you've watched any of our videos on there, anytime you see a video on there that's got gameplay that's not Jack's or my own, we probably looked for half an hour to 45 minutes, maybe even more, maybe hours for those videos, because we would just go down rabbit holes. We'd find a random plat player that we just cannot believe is a real Rocket League player, watching all of this player's replay, like stuff like that. So
it's really fun.
Yeah, that's what inspired us to make this video. But if you want to see other ranks, other game modes, maybe specific players in the community that you want us to analyze a random replay from, not sure if that's a good idea. Maybe that's too toxic. Not that we're trying to make this toxic. We are trying to make this informative, but also fun. And yeah, let us know if this is the type of content you enjoy. We're still very much experimenting with this channel, and just having a good time figuring out what kind of content we enjoy, you enjoy. And this, for me, this was fun.
Absolutely, guys. If there's anything that you learned as well, let us know in the comments. That's for me, that's really important for us to get an idea of what people are struggling with, what people understand when we talk about it, what people don't understand when we talk about. And on the other hand, if there's anything that we talked about that you don't get, let us know. Maybe we can look to cover it in a future video in more detail. But guys, we are going to leave it there, of course. If you have enjoyed, drop a like, drop a sub, check out all the other videos on the channel, check out the course at thenextrank.com, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.